We were just traveling around, seeing the countryside, and we went to every state in the Union. It was really quite some drive.
Who's we?
My brother, my mother, my sister, and myself. And we finally landed in Hollywood, and Howard looked up a lot of his friends he'd gone to school with. And one day, my mother looked up a cousin at Warner Brothers called Gordon Hollingshead. And I'm very proud to be related to him because he won 5 Academy Awards for his shorts. He did historical shorts, and a great friend of John Barrymore's, too.
Oh, yes.
We looked him up, and he said, come on out to the studio and have a look-see.
And this was just kind of a tour, a personal
Just a tour. And we went on a set where Betty Davis was making Elizabeth in Essex. And I believe Anatole Litvak, I'm not sure whether he was directing that or whether he was directing something else, but in any case, we met Anatole Litvak, and he said to my mother, she ought to be in pictures. And I nearly died. I couldn't believe it. I smiled, and I didn't take it too seriously. And my brother laughed like hell, real
How old were you at the time?
Let's see, that was in 18. Well, they offered me a screen test, and Mother and I discussed it, and we didn't tell that to Butch, my brother. We didn't tell my father, and she said, let's go out there on such and such a day that they'd scheduled it for us.
Why didn't you tell your father or your brother?
Because I was afraid they'd put the calabash on it, you know. And
you wanted the screen test.
Oh, I thought it'd be fun, you know.
Yeah, sure.
And so I studied Dorothy Parker's A Telephone Call and went out and did the monologue. And they kept looking at my mother, and John Farrell made the test. It was Mia Farrell's father. Wonderful fellow. And made a lot of great pictures, but in those days he was doing some of the testing. He kept looking at Mother, and he kept saying, maybe we ought to test the mother. She was so pretty and much more poised and glamorous than I was at 18.
What was the first movie you did when you finally came out here? And was it for Warner Brothers?
No, 20th Century Fox.
Yeah, that's what I remember.
With Henry Fonda. And it was called The Return of Frank James.
The woman you just heard is Gene Tierney. She was born on November 19th, 1920 in Brooklyn, New York. Raised in Connecticut, she excelled in poetry, took up student acting, and eventually spent 2 years attending school in Switzerland, where she learned to speak French. On a family trip to the West Coast, she visited Warner Brothers Studios, where her cousin, Gordon Hollingshead, worked as a producer. Director Anatole Litvak, taken by her beauty, convinced Gene to take a screen test. Warner Brothers wanted to sign her, but her father convinced her to stay home, enter society, and become a theater actress. She studied acting in Greenwich Village, and soon found herself getting increasing roles on Broadway, along with reviews about her acting prowess and natural beauty. Eventually, Gene's father set up a company to fund her acting interests. She met Howard Hughes, who became a lifelong friend. In 1940, she starred as Patricia Stanley on Broadway in The Male Animal. Features in Life, Harper's Bazaar, and Vogue soon followed. Darryl Zanuck, head of 20th Century Fox, saw her both acting and later dancing at the Stork Club and signed her to a contract. She debuted later that year in a supporting role, opposite Henry Fonda in Fritz Lang's Western, The Return of Frank James. By 1944, she made 11 films. That autumn, she wrapped up filming of Laura opposite Dana Andrews, Clifton Webb, and Vincent Price.
Laura really turned out, you know.
Oh.
So I'm very fond of Laura.
Did you want the film?
I thought it was a beautiful story, and I thought the dialogue of Clifton Webb reading it was just so stimulating and so wonderfully amusing. But I didn't want her. I thought if Jennifer doesn't want it, she turned it down.
Jennifer Jones.
Jennifer Jones. And I thought it was just a part. It was all a portrait, and it should be a woman that was just so fabulously beautiful that some man could fall in love with the portrait. You know,
Didn't you think you were?
No, and I still don't. I think it was just a magic picture.
Oh, no.
The mixture of everything made it turn out.
Ask us. Ask David and me.
No, you're very cute.
Huh?
Sensational looking.
Well, it's a good story. It was a good story.
Could have been a silent film and it would have been a hit.
Who did that portrait for that film?
Well, that portrait was a photograph blown up with paint on it.
Oh, for heaven's sakes.
Yeah,
That'd
Mother
be
was
demoralizing,
wounded, and
huh?
I had to disillusion her by telling her that.
Oh.
Yeah.
Is it? Look at that. Now that's just touched that made look like a
Before its premiere in November, She guest starred on Duffy's Tavern on Friday, September 22nd.
Hello, Duffy's Tavern, where the elite meet to eat. Archie the manager speaking. Duffy ain't here. Oh, hello, Duffy. Tonight, Gene Tierney. Oh, gorgeous. Got a face that could launch 1,000 ships, Duffy. Yep, and a pair of legs that'll bring him right back home again. Gene Tierney, you seen her in the movies, Duffy. She's the one your wife once looked like long ago. From far away. Yeah. Well, of course, the way your wife is built now, you could make 2 Gene Tierneys out of her and still have enough left over for 3 Sophie Tuckers and a Charles Lawton. Huh? Why is she coming down here? Maybe because a certain party here is not repugnant to her. You know the old saying, Duffy, the lodestone is always drawn to the maggot. Look, Duffy, the music is just starting. I'll call you back, huh?
The brainchild of star Ed Gardner, Duffy's Tavern debuted as part of CBS's Forecast pilot series in 1940. It was hailed by critics as the most original comedy of 1941. The fictitious bar was allegedly located in Manhattan on 3rd Avenue and 23rd Street. It was the eyesore of the East Side, where the elite meet to eat. Duffy never made an appearance, but his frequent phone calls were a constant source of anxiety. Gardner's heavily New York accented Archie has inspired several characters in the years since, like Moe in The Simpsons. Eddie Green was Eddie, Marvin Miller announced, Sandra Gould was Miss Duffy, and Charlie Cantor was Finnegan. In September 1944, the show moved to NBC. This was the season's 2nd episode. It pulled a rating of 11.3. Roughly 9 million people tuned in.
Eddie, you know, there's a movie star coming down here tonight, and,
What movie star?
as far as I'm concerned, the only movie star, Eddie. The only one that I can truthfully say we was made for each other.
Lassie?
Eddie, you know who I mean. Gene Tierney. Lovely, beauteous, vivacious, cadaverous Gene Tierney. Ah, she's lovely, Eddie.
I can just hear him now.
Who?
Mr. and Mrs. Lovebug. Mr. Lovebug say, honey, what are we having for dinner tonight? And Mrs. Lovebug, she say, Archie. And he say, what, again? Now, Mr. Archie, this Gene Tierney is a big movie star and society girl.
All right, rub it in. I ain't society.
And you ain't no movie star.
And I ain't handsome.
And you ain't got no dough.
And I ain't got a lot of clothes.
You realize this can go on indefinitely.
Eddie, you forget that dames like Gene Tierney is fed up with them glamour guys. What they go for is simplicity.
Well, you're simple enough.
So what? So I ain't got no dough, but I'm going to be honest with her. I'll say to her, Gene, here we are. You, a star. I, but a simple, rugged man of the people. I'm poor, yes, but not so poor that I'd be too proud to have you support me.
You know what could happen if you said that?
What?
You could be swung on by a star.
Eddie, don't argue. Me mind is made up.
Well, okay, if you'd rather be a mule.
Look, Eddie, a little more respect, please.
We have to go back to that again?
Well, I suppose I can't force you to respect me. Either you do or you don't.
What do you mean?
Either you do respect me or you don't work here. Honest, sometimes I get...
Archie.
Oh. Hello, Finnegan.
Hey, Archie, could you lend me the loan at $5?
Lend me the loan. What grammar? Finnegan loaned me the lend of $5. Besides, what do you need $5 for?
To take out an insurance policy. The agent is here. And
Finnegan, you taking out insurance?
Well, that's the way the agent says. No man with my intelligence should be without protection.
Yeah, I agree with him. What kind of insurance are you taking out?
Accident.
Accident, huh?
It's a swell policy, Arch. Only $5 a year. You can walk in front of a truck without getting hit.
Finnegan. An accident policy means if you get in an accident, the company has to pay you.
They do?
Yeah.
The what suckers? Hey, Arch, don't tell the agent about it. He might refuse to sell me the policy.
Oh, Finnegan.
Finnegan, I haven't got much more time.
Oh, Mr. Hancock. Arch, this is the agent I was telling you about. Archie, meet Sam Hancock.
Oh, how do you do? What company are you with, Mr. Hancock?
The Mutual, General Fire and Theft, Liability Mutual, Fidelity Mutual, Accident Company, Incorporated.
Well, it's a pleasure to know you.
It's mutual.
Thank you. Well, you see, Mr. Finnegan here is a friend of mine. I would like to know a little more about this policy.
Well, it's our newest type of accident policy. Complete all-over coverage and sub-coverage, reimbursement rider, premium waiver, with convertible features.
Well, so far it sounds very dapt.
Hey, Arch, what's that convertible thing?
That's in case you get hit by a car with the top down.
I can see you're a man who really understands a lot about insurance.
Oh, no more than any other up-to-date, intelligent guy. Now, tell me, this policy, is it an endowager policy or pari-mutual? In other words, what happens if Finnegan is incapacitated by a fatal accident?
Well, if the fatality is caused by the insured getting struck by hailstones or meteors while he is walking in an incorporated village or township, my company assumes all costs of interment and funeral up to 10% of the cash surrender value of the policy. Provided, of course, that the insured can prove that death was unavoidable.
Well, that seems fair enough.
Yes, and another thing. We pay instantly. The motto of our company is, when rigor mortis sets in, so do we. Now, what about the money, Mr. Finnegan?
Oh, yeah, Arch, how about the $5?
The $5. Well, I don't know.
I have an idea. Until the $5 is repaid, why doesn't your friend Finnegan make you the beneficiary?
Yeah.
What's that, Arch?
Well, if I lend you the money and I'm your beneficiary, it means, that if you break a couple of legs or get mangled under a subway train, I don't get hurt. Okay, I'll give you the $5.
Good. Now, Mr. Finnegan, if you'll just step over here, we'll fill out the paper.
Okay.
Hello, Archie.
Hello,
What's
Miss Duffy.
going on here?
Well, Finnegan's taking out insurance.
Oh, yeah? That's just what Pop and my Mama was fighting about this morning.
They was fighting another fight, huh?
Uh-huh.
Your old lady swinging that baseball bat again?
Oh, no, it wasn't a serious fight. Just bare fists.
What was the fight about?
Insurance. Mama feels Papa should take out more life insurance.
Why?
Well, Archie, even though she can't bear to think of it, she knows that Papa isn't getting any younger, and, well, if anything happened to Papa, she'd be too old to go to work, and what could she do?
Oh, Miss Duffy, nothing's going to happen to your father.
Well, Mama's more foresighted than you are. She knows the way she's been beating him lately. Believe me, the man I marry will carry plenty of insurance.
Well, do you think that the guy that marries you would be able to get insurance?
Why not?
Well, do you think he could pass the eye test?
Archie, that could be an insult.
If it ain't, I'll apologize.
Well, that's better.
Touche. So, leave us not argue, huh? Anyhow, I'm in too good a mood tonight. You know, Gene Tierney is coming down here.
Oh, running after movie stars again, huh?
So what? You're always running after guys.
But you're such a snob, you only run after movie stars. At least I'm democratic. I'll run after anybody.
Look, Miss Duffy, I think who I run after is my own negative.
Matty Malik and his orchestra play the new dance hit, Dance with the Dolly.
Look, did Gene Tierney get here yet? I mean, Gene Tierney?
Now, calm down, Mr. Archie. Calm down.
Honest, I'm as nervous as a newborn bride. Hey, wait a minute, Eddie. Here she comes now. Look at her, Eddie. Ain't she the most redundant thing you have ever seen? Well, good evening, Miss Tierney.
So this is Duffy's Tavern, huh?
Gene, it was Duffy's Tavern. But with you here, it has become the Bower of Beauty. The Temple of Punkritude.
Thank you. Are you Archie?
I was Archie. But now I am Romeo. Young Lockenbox. Casserole. So you're Gene Tierney, hmm?
Well, I was Gene Tierney.
And what are you now?
Sick to my stomach.
What do you mean?
Bower of Beauty, Romeo, Archie. Girls don't fall for a corny line like that.
They don't, huh? Miss Tierney, you see this little red book here?
Yes.
See this list of names in it?
Yes.
Miss Tierney, this is not a milk route. However, if you don't like that line, you don't like it. We'll take a breather for a minute and try something else. By the way, would you care to partake of some refreshment?
Okay, I'll take a Coke.
A Coke? Oh, no, you don't. Eddie, a bottle of our very best champagne from the cellar, that Pipesick 44.
Sorry, we're all out of champagne.
What? Who drunk it up?
I don't know. All I know is the last time I was down in the cellar, I saw 3 blind mice.
Eddie, please, leave us desist the wisecracks. Miss Tierney is thirsty. How about a bottle of that fine old Napoleon brandy?
Napoleon brandy? We got that?
That brown bottle on the top shelf.
Does that crazy brandy think it's Napoleon again?
Look, Eddie, please.
Archie, never mind. I'll just take a glass of good old-fashioned aqua pura.
Aqua Pura, huh? We got any of that left, Eddie?
Yeah, certainly.
Uh-huh.
Here you are, Miss Tierney.
Oh, thank you.
Well, Eddie,
Well, what?
Miss Tierney ordered Aqua Pura. You're just gonna leave her here with the chaser?
Mr. Archie, aqua pura is water.
Oh, Oh, I guess I was thinking of aqua caliente.
You're getting in the hot water but a minute.
Hey, Archie.
Oh, Miss Duffy. Gene, shake hands with Miss Duffy, the fruit of Duffy's marriage.
How do you do?
Likewise, I'm sure. You know, Miss Tierney, a lot of people have told me that you and I look alike, but now I can see there's a difference. Our hair is different colors.
Miss Duffy. Your hair is different colors. Hers is natural.
Archie, you keep your stupid nose out of this. You, men. Miss Tierney, wouldn't it be wonderful to do without men forever?
Honey, are you nuts?
We could get along without them. Men is only a habit, just like smoking.
Do you smoke?
No, I can't get cigarettes either.
Hello? Oh, just a minute, Miss Duffy, your girlfriend, Vera Fogarty.
Oh, hello, Vera. Say, do you know who's here? Gene Tierney. Standing right next to me. Huh? Well, pretty attractive, but I've seen Better. What? Well, I'll tell you the rest of the date when I see you. Huh? Oh, yeah, I'd like to go to the movies. Say, what's playing at the Bijou? Double Indemnity? Oh, I don't feel like two pictures. What? Oh, well, okay, dear. I'll be there in a few minutes. Goodbye, dear. Well, Miss Tierney, I have to run along now.
Have fun, Miss Duffy.
Oh, I'm just going out with a girl. Who could have fun going out with a girl?
I could. Good night, Miss Duffy.
Good night.
Well, Gene, now that we're alone again, how about you and me taking a stroll in the park, huh?
Oh, Archie, don't be ridiculous.
Cherie. Why don't you give up this pretense of frigidity? Please. You know that you're in love with me.
I certainly am not.
A likely story. But I think I know what's bothering you. You think that I'm in love with Gene Tierney, the beautiful, wealthy, famous movie star. You're wrong. I'm in love with Gene Tierney, the girl. The beautiful, wealthy, famous girl.
Archie, do you ever hear ringing in your ears?
Yes, darling, and it's wedding bells.
Wedding bells? Can you afford to get married?
Why not? How much would it cost? $2 for a license, $10 for the minister, $3 for a wedding breakfast. I make that kind of dough in a week. So, what do you say? Shall we take a little stroll in the park?
I'll tell you what, Archie. If you want to take me out, I have an idea.
Name it, Jeannie. Just name it. I the potter, you the clay.
Okay, instead of the park, we'll go to the Stork Club.
The Stork Club. There are storks in the park, you know.
Archie, it's the Stork Club or nothing.
I'll be with you in a minute, Gene. friends. It's up to you to help me out now. I gotta get the dough to take this Tierney dame to the store club or I'm dead. Absolutely dead.
You're dead, huh? How much you need?
$50.
How you want it?
What do you mean?
Large or small funeral?
Stop kidding, Eddie. Where am I gonna get $50? I got.
How about trying Miss Duffy?
I can't. She went to the movies. She had to see that Double Indemnity. Hey, I just remembered. I'm Finnegan's beneficiary.
So?
Eddie, did you see Double Indemnity?
No.
Very interesting. All about two people who knock off a guy for his insurance. Funny, I should just happen to think of a picture called Double Indemnity, huh?
Yeah. Funny, I should just happen to think of a book called Finnegan's Wake.
Just a second, Eddie. Are you insinuating that I would homicide Finnegan? I'm just thinking in terms of some little thing, you know, some slight mishap. His arm, maybe, or a small conclusion of the brain. Which on Finnegan wouldn't even show. And the agent is still here. I could collect the dough right away.
To me, it sounds Alcatraz-y.
Look, don't forget the old proverb, Eddie. Fair play near one fair lady. Now, let's see. What's a good kind of an accident? I read someplace that 60% of the accidents happen in a bathtub. Wonder if I could get Finnegan to take a bath. No, there must be an easier way. Wait a minute. I got it. Eddie, give me that bung starter.
Here you are.
Okay, thanks. Oh, Finnegan.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, the accident insurance is all fixed up.
So is the accident.
Look, Finnegan, would you mind to help me hang that sign over there?
Which one?
That one, the one that says, "Love thy fellow man." You just hold it up there while I nail it in.
Okay.
Attaboy. Now hold your hand still. And hold your head still now. Attaboy.
Hey, Arch, if you keep hitting me on the head, you're never going to get that sign up.
Brother, this is going to be a tough nut to crack. Finnegan, would you mind doing me another favor?
What is it, Arch?
I want you to go down to the cellar for me.
Sure, Arch. Gee, you're nice today, Arch.
What do you mean?
Usually you ignore me, but today you're so attentive.
Yeah, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, Finnegan, now down in the cellar.
Yeah.
Here, you go ahead of me.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Now, be careful you don't fall down the steps, Clifton.
Don't worry about it.
Good heavens. Finnegan has accidentally fell down the stairs.
Don't kid me. I know what you did.
What are you talking? I was just patting me pal on the back.
One does not pat one's pal with both hands and a foot.
Hey, Arch, what is it you wanted me to get down here?
If you didn't already get it, you might as well come back up. Boy, this guy is immortal.
Hey, Arch, guess what? I fell down the steps.
You did? How horrible. But how come you can fall down a whole flight of stairs and not get hurt?
Clean living, Arch.
This guy is thick-skulled all over his body. Wait a minute. Europa, I got it. Finnegan, have you tried the free lunch here lately?
Free lunch? Arch, nobody eats your free lunch here.
But, Finnegan, are you a nobody?
I tried. I'll try it. Oh, this is very tasty, Arch.
Yeah, go ahead, keep eating it. Try that laminated herring.
Oh, boy, oh.
I think we finally got him, Eddie. Oh, Mr. Hancock, Mr. Hancock.
Yes?
Finnegan here, he's been accidentally food poisoned.
By George, he does look pale.
Well, I'm the beneficiary. I tell you what, I'll settle for $50. Quick.
Okay, but first I'll have to make out a report. Now, where did the food come from?
The free lunch.
Did the insured eat the free lunch here of his own free will and volition?
Yes, sir.
Sorry.
What's the matter?
We do not pay off on attempted suicide. Better luck next time. Good night, sir.
But wait a minute, Mr. Hancock.
Arch,
Huh?
it's getting late. Are we or are we not going to the store?
Well, you see, I just ran out of a little money.
Oh, God.
Oh, what a rat I am. Look what I done to Finnegan, and for nothing.
What's wrong?
Gene, I gotta clean me breast out of this. I ain't worthy to kiss the hem of your shoe. You know what I done? In cold blood, I tried to massacre me best friend. I suppose now you'll never marry me, hmm?
Right.
I thought so. I should never have done it.
Archie, it wasn't what you done. It's on account of what I done 3 years ago.
You too, hmm? What did you do?
I got married. Good night, Archie.
Oh. Oh, boy. It's lucky I found out in time. In addition to a murderer, I would have been a bigamy.
Hey, Arch, you got any more of that free lunch?
Finnegan, I thought the free lunch made you sick.
No, Arch, I liked it.
Well, what was you groaning about?
I was groaning about the swell chance I missed.
What do you mean?
Well, when I fell down them steps, if I would have hurt myself, I bet you we could have collected $50.
Duffy's Tavern, where the elite meet to eat. Archie the manager speaking. Yeah, Duffy, that's right. Next week, Risa Stevens from the opera. Risa. R-I-S-E. Yeah, like the sun Reese's. Okay.
This is the Armed Forces Radio Service.